You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Today we take a deep dive into the truth behind the leaked prison communications of R. Kelly. Whether you're a casual observer, a die-hard fan or someone simply seeking the facts, this video is for you. Take note that this isn't about sensationalism. This is about justice. Justice for a man whose rights may have been violated and whose ability to defend himself in court has been undermined, and of course whose life is now the center of one of the most controversial cases in recent history. We all know by now that R. Kelly's private prison phone calls and emails were leaked to the public months before the New York trial.
Now I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
These communications, which should have been protected under his constitutional rights, were exposed and weaponized against him. Let's take a step back and ask why this happened, who benefited from this leak, and more importantly, who orchestrated it. It is critical to understand that prison communications are not completely private. Most incarcerated individuals know that their calls are monitored and their emails screened. However, the information collected is typically kept safe internally or used during court proceedings and not for public consumption. In R. Kelly's case, this breach of privacy has raised significant legal and ethical questions. The leaked materials weren't just about petty gossip. They revealed potentially sensitive legal strategies he discussed with his attorneys at that time, and private conversations he had with his girlfriends then. Meanwhile, the intent behind this leak wasn't about transparency. It was instead a calculated move to prejudice public opinion and obstruct his right to a fair trial. And by leaking these communications, those responsible may have committed an act of obstruction of justice. Obstruction doesn't always require a blatant act like destroying evidence. It can include anything that interferes with the legal process, including publicizing information meant to undermine a defendant's ability to mount a fair defense. The Sixth Amendment guarantees every person the right to a fair trial. And that includes the right to prepare a defense without interference. The intentional release of R. Kelly's communications compromised his legal strategy, and this is not just unfair but it's also illegal. Whoever leaked this information didn't just attack R. Kelly, they attacked the principles of due process and should be held accountable. This should have also affected the case in R. Kelly's favor. And let's not forget the broader implications that if this can happen to him, what's stopping it from happening to anyone else? Why should the government commit crimes during prosecution of cases and be left to go scot-free, yet R. Kelly was followed and crucified for alleged obstruction? That doesn't even make sense. The media frenzy surrounding R. Kelly's case is unprecedented. Every detail of his life has been dissected and judged, often without context or regard for facts. The leaked communications fed into this narrative, reinforcing biases and turning the court of public opinion into an extension of the courtroom. Let's be honest, a fair trial becomes nearly impossible when jurors are influenced by such media coverage. The release of these private communications wasn't just a breach of privacy against R. Kelly, it was also a direct attempt to sway public perception and, by extension, the outcome of the trial. Ask yourself this: if R. Kelly's guilt is so clear, why the need for leaks? Why resort to dirty tactics instead of letting the legal process unfold naturally? These actions speak louder than any headline. They reveal a system that may be less interested in justice and more interested in winning at any cost. What's happening here goes beyond R. Kelly. It highlights systemic issues within the justice system. When the rights of one individual are trampled on, it sets a very dangerous precedent. If prosecutors, prison officials or external parties can manipulate the system by leaking such restricted information, it undermines the integrity of the entire process. Think about other high-profile cases where such leaks and media narratives influenced outcomes. If this happened to R. Kelly, we can be sure there must be many more such cases that we simply don't know about only because the victims are not celebrities like him. How many innocent people have been convicted because they couldn't overcome such injustices? The number must be up there. R. Kelly's case is a litmus test for how we handle justice in the age of social media and instant information. We must demand accountability not just for those on trial, but also for those tasked with upholding the law. Defending R. Kelly means standing up for the principles of fairness and justice. The moment we allow public opinion to dictate legal outcomes, and the moment we allow such illegalities by prosecutors against the defendants to pass without question, then we've lost sight of what justice truly means. This matters because the law is supposed to protect everyone equally. It's not about picking sides. It's about ensuring that the process is fair and unbiased. So whether you believe R. Kelly is guilty or innocent, he's entitled to a defense free from interference. Now is the time to speak up. Whether you're a fan or a critic of the R&B king, you should care about the integrity of the justice system. Let's share this video, discuss the implications and demand accountability for the breach of R. Kelly's rights. Let's hold those responsible for the illegal leaks accountable. Let's demand transparency in the investigation of how this happened, and above all advocate for a system where justice isn't just a word but a reality. Thank you for watching and listening in. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section below. Together we can shine a light on these injustices and work towards a better and fairer future. According to Yolanda, the leaking of R. Kelly's private prison communications is a blatant violation of his rights and a serious breach of legal ethics. Regardless of anyone's opinion about his guilt or innocence, such actions undermine the integrity of the justice system and should be punishable by law. Those responsible for this leak should be held accountable to preserve the fairness and due process that every individual is entitled to under the law. Justice isn't about cutting corners or playing dirty. It's about following the rules for everyone. According to McDaniel, leaking R. Kelly's private prison communications is a dangerous abuse of power that threatens the integrity of the justice system. No matter what someone is accused of, they have the right to a fair trial without interference or manipulation. Those responsible for this breach must face consequences to ensure accountability, and to protect the rights of everyone within the system. Justice should never be compromised by illegal leaks or public bias. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.